was just like, I haven't felt this happy in like so long. Like I could totally see myself like just like being here and like loving the sport again and like just like all the things. Like, and it made me just like so happy to like think about that.
And especially coming off of, I mean, it hasn't been just like a couple months. Like this has been a year for you, Bella. Like going back to 2024 trials, then leading up into this season, and then March and NCAAs and transfer portal and drug tests. Like, can you kind of walk through this past year and how, first of all, you swam incredible this year. Like backstroking Bella is my queen, and that is like my religion. I love you. I pray in front of you. But like for you to have all of this stuff kind of like orbiting around, yet still being able to kind of perform and do it as one of the fastest swimmers ever in the events that you swam, like how are you able to do that?
I think okay, so at the beginning of the year, I got diagnosed with a torn labrum in my hip.
And this was like September, like season.
Yeah, like
okay,
August, September, like one of those.
Yep.
I got like an arthrogram because I kept on getting like MRIs and X-rays, and everyone was like, "No, you're fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with you." And I was like, "There is something wrong with me. Like the pain that I feel like when I kick is not normal." And so I got an arthrogram, and they were like, "Okay, you have a torn labrum and a cartilage fissure, and like that's like the cartilage over my bone is like ripped, and so like my bone to bone like makes contact sometimes, and it like hurts." And so the doctor like prescribed me with this like anti-inflammatory that's like stronger, I guess, than like Advil or something. And so I was like taking it, and then I like 15 days or so like into me taking this like anti-inflammatory, I get drug tested, and I didn't think anything of it. Like I got prescribed a medicine, like I was like, this is fine, like I do this all the time. And then exactly a month later, I get an email. I'm like in the dining hall, like about to eat lunch, like before practice, and I get an email, and it's like I don't know exactly what it said, but it was like tested positive, like WADA test, like whatever. And I
heart
literally
like dropped.
I put my plate down at this, like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the University of Florida dining hall, but it's like a buffet style thing. I put my plate down, and I literally left, and I was like, called Christina, like our trainer, and I was like, what, like shaking, like I was like, what do I do? I'm gonna cry. And then so I'm like sitting in her like office, and we're like looking at like, because it tells you like everything that you like
you have to list everything.
Yeah, I listed all of everything I was taking, and I listed the anti-inflammatory. And she's like looking at all the supplements I took, and like she's like, no way it could be like the anti-inflammatory, because like it's an FDA regulated drug. Like surely it wouldn't be like contaminated or anything. And so I don't know, we're like sitting in this office, like literally trying to like figure out like literally anything. My like therapist comes in for like moral support, and she's like, do you need me to do anything? I'm like, I don't know what I need to do. Like and then we went to the coach's office, and we were like trying to figure more things out. And then I didn't want to go to practice because I was like, I can't swim right now. Like there's no way I can swim right now. So I was just like chilling in the office like for like 4 hours, like calling like the doctors and being like, could it possibly be this? Like that was the only thing that had changed in my like regimen, basically. Like I've been taking these supplements for the past like 7 years of my life. Like that was the only thing that had changed. And so I had to get a lawyer, and he was telling me like, after like I got him like 3 days later, because like I was like, I don't know, like I was still flustered in like my thoughts. And he told me that I was still able to swim in the NCAA because it wasn't like international, and like the WADA, it was a WADA test, so it was like international swimming, so I was like only technically like banned until like I got it appealed internationally. And so he was like, oh, you can swim NCAA. And then so I didn't swim like the meet that was like, there was like a Florida Georgia meet like that weekend, and I didn't swim that because like we still didn't know at that point that I was able to swim. And so like I was just like going through it. Like I went to go visit my best friend because the coaches were like, you need to get away from like because like everyone was at a meet, like they were in Georgia, so like I was gonna be in Gainesville like by myself. Like they were like, you need to get your thoughts like away and like just kind of distract yourself. And I was like, perfect, like going to see my best friend like in South Carolina. And so that whole weekend, like I kind of like just like it was like in the back of my mind, but like I was like trying to forget about everything like for that weekend. And then for the next like 2 weeks I was like super stressed, like going into practice, like being like, dang, like this is what it feels like to be like, oh, like your sport can be taken away from you like literally in a blink of an eye. And so I was like, wow, like this is crazy. This is probably like, okay, I don't know, this is like my opinion, but like probably a swimmer's like worst fear. I don't like, or
1,000%.
any athletes. And if I like didn't get this appeal, I would have had like a 2-year ban. And so I'm like, whatever. When the lawyer told me I was able to swim, I gained like a perspective. I was like, wow, like I was like at this point, like I was like starting to like not like the sport. Like I was like, oh, you know, like every time I went to practice.
Yeah.
And when the lawyer told me like I was still able to swim, I like gained a perspective, and I was like, okay, like I don't have to be here, like I get to be here. And so I was like going into practice, and I was like, okay, like I can swim now, like let's take advantage of like what I can do like now.